Anna, wake up. Even Kumbhakarn woke up for Lanka. You should at least wake up for your country. Anna, time to rise. Vote chori has happened. These aren't my words. These are posters plastered across Pune, mocking Anna Hazare, the same man who once brought millions to the streets, the man credited with toppling the UPA-2 regime, now painted as a sleeping giant who refuses to stir. His face, once the emblem of India's fight against corruption, now placed next to Kumbhkaran, the demon who wouldn't wake up. Think about the irony. A man who once held parliament hostage with a hunger strike is now being called out by street banners because he won't even raise his voice. And here is the truth. Those posters aren't trolling. They are a mirror of what Hazare has become, a faded symbol, clinging to hollow laws while the system he promised to cleanse only grew dirtier. So was Anna Hazare ever the conscience of the nation or just a pawn in a bigger political game? Did his movement change anything at all, or was it just a safety wall before the system went back to business as usual? And why, when corruption, authoritarianism, and even alleged vote theft are staring us in the face, has Anna Hazare gone silent? These are some of the questions I shall raise today. Hello viewers, this is Honest Take with me Tejas. Before we move ahead, our usual request. Please do subscribe to our channel if you haven't already and press the bell icon to never miss an update from Lokmat Times. Back in 2011, India was angry. Inflation was eating into households. Scams worth lakhs of crores were tumbling out of the UPA government's closet. 2G, Commonwealth Games, coal block allocations, many more. Young people who had never attended a protest were on the streets. Office goers skipped work to gather at Ramlila Maidan. The tricolour became a rallying cry, and at the centre of it all was a wiry, white-capped 74-year-old ex-army driver turned village reformer from Radegan Siddhi, Anna Hazare. He went on hunger strikes. He wrapped himself in Gandhi's aura. He told us corruption could be destroyed if only we created the right watchdog institutions. And we believed him. For a brief shining moment, India against corruption felt like a people's movement that would rewire the DNA of Indian politics. Hazare demanded a Jan Lokpal bill that would set up a powerful anti-corruption ombudsman. Within days, lakhs of Indians were on the streets. Cities witnessed candlelight marches, tricolours waved in every protest, and the media crowned Anna Hazare as India's new moral messiah. It felt revolutionary. It felt like history in the making. Anna is India, India is Anna. Remember that slogan? The man was considered the second Gandhi. Politicians trembled, the UPA scrambled, and a bill, however watered down, finally passed. Hazare claimed victory. But when the posters from Pune calling Anna Hazare a Kumbhkaran went viral this week, Anna thought it's time to answer. Anna came before the media and defending himself, he said, "I'm 90 years old now and many laws have been made in this country because of my agitation. The youth of India should come forward and raise their voice. Now it is their turn to act." So Anna says many laws were passed because of him. Let's review those laws then. The Lokpal and Lokayuktas Act of 2013 were the so-called crown jewel of his agitation. He insists it was his fast and his pressure that made Parliament act. So first, the Lokpal, India's supposed corruption watchdog, was appointed only after years of delay, even under Supreme Court pressure. And since then, a body that was meant to strike fear into corrupt politicians has barely barked, let alone bitten. It has not exposed a single mega scam. It is appointed by the same political class it is supposed to investigate. In many states, Lokayuktas are still missing or powerless. Some states simply ignore the law. Others set up toothless offices. The people's watchdog turned out to be a pet dog, wagging its tail at those in power. So yes, a law exists on paper, but is it protecting you from corruption? Has it stopped the rise of electoral bonds, opaque funding, or the corporate political nexus that now dominates Indian politics? Has it prevented the alleged vote chori allegations that have led to protests across the country? The answer is simple, no. Anna Hazare won a law, but India lost the battle. Now we come to the core of the critic. Hazare wasn't just one-time activist, he was projected as India's conscience keeper, someone who would rise above party lines and stand against injustice, whoever was in power. But after 2014, after the BJP came to power, that fire vanished. Corruption allegations, electoral malpractice, institutional capture, Hazare's response has been limited to occasional letter or a token statement. No hunger strikes, no rallies, no mass mobilization. The very tactics that shook the UPA are nowhere to be seen under PM Modi's rule. When questions of electoral fraud or alleged vote chori dominate the opposition's protests, when social media is raging, Hazare is silent. Critics say he was never truly independent, that his movement was stage managed by right wing forces to bring down the Congress, and his silence now, his refusal to challenge the BJP with the same fury, makes that accusation sting with credibility. The posters in Pune said it best. You woke up against Congress. Why are you asleep against BJP? What made Hazare powerful in 2011 was not just his hunger strike. It was the millions of young Indians who poured out onto the streets. Students, professionals, first-time voters, they believed in him. They believed India could be corruption-free. They believed their tricolors and candles would change the system. What did they get in return? Toothless laws, a hollow Lokpat, a movement that disintegrated, a vacuum that gave birth to political experiments like the Aam Aadmi Party, which itself got mired in contradictions and power struggle. Those youths are now in their 30s. Many feel cheated. They remember the passion but also the futility, and when they see Hazare now defending his legacy, they don't see a hero. They see a man unwilling to admit that he failed them, a man too timid to stand against today's corruption, a man who left them holding the bill for his unfinished fight. At nearly 90, Hazare genuinely cannot fast or march anymore. But activism isn't only about the body. It's about voice, clarity, courage. Gandhi led India without ever holding office. Jayaprakash Narayan challenged Indira Gandhi when he too was old and frail. Hazare, by contrast, has chosen comfort over courage. So here is my honest take. Anna Hazare was never the Messiah we imagined. He was the right man at the right time perhaps, but not the leader India needed. His movement was manipulated, his demands watered down, his legacy hollow. He claimed to fight corruption, but the corrupt still thrive. He claimed to be apolitical, but his silence under BJP rule betrays that claim. He claimed to empower the people, but today the people mock him for his slumber. History will not remember Anna Hazare as the man who saved India from corruption. It will remember him as the man who led millions to hope, only to abandon them midway. The man who shook the system once, then fell asleep when the system grew even stronger. Kumbhakarna at least woke up to fight. Anna Hazare, it seems, will not. And that, dear viewers, is the tragedy of a man who could have been a legend, but chose instead to become a footnote. That's all for today's honest take. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and never stop asking tough questions.